So some other terms I think would be really valuable to have a quick discussion on are the terms mild autism as well as neurotypical. So typically speaking, autism is a neurodivergent sort of personality where the person's brain works in a way that is different than the general public or someone that does not have a diagnosis of autism. So neurotypical is typically used to describe individuals that do not have a diagnosis of autism, and some other neurodivergent disorders such as ADHD is another popular one. Mild autism is a term that also gets thrown around. And what I believe people are trying to communicate is this kind of lower level autism where maybe there's some residual effects, it's not as they've maybe gotten some treatment, and while maybe they have some slight sort of resemblance to a full-blown diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder, some of the more obvious sort of symptoms, visual sort of repetitive behaviors or robotic speech or marked deficits in social emotional reciprocity have been remedied. The individual has learned different skills to present more neurotypical, but there's still some maybe aspects that are still a little bit more challenging. I think this often comes up with people who are teenagers or young adults where they are able to hold a job, they are able to socialize with their friends, but maybe it's still tough to get new friends because like those introductory social skills are not as strong as they could be, but they learn how to maintain friendships with people that they've known for years. This also comes up maybe sometimes in dating, where the nuances of a romantic relationship is more nuanced and more challenging for everyone, not just a neurodivergent individual. So when you're trying to navigate these new social relationships or a new romantic relationship, it becomes much more challenging. So like, mild autism might get thrown around there. Oftentimes mild autism gets linked to also Asperger's syndrome, where they kind of say, oh yeah, I have like mild autism, I have Asperger's, which again is a term that no longer exists in the DSM-5. They've been all kind of collapsed to the umbrella of autism spectrum disorder. So it's important to know that while they may be communicating their particular sort of presentation, it's not necessarily like a clinical term.